Hello and welcome to a super awesome special episode of Go Natural English, where I'm bringing you 6 of my friends and online English teacher superstars, and we're all going to share our best tips for English fluency with you.
Hey there, I'm Drew Badger, the co-founder of EnglishAnyone.com, and today, very quickly, I'd like to share with you an answer to a question I often receive from learners. And this is, how can I build my vocabulary and learn to speak confidently? Because what a lot of people are doing is often using the same words and expressions over and over again in conversations. Now, this is the exact same thing that happened to me when I first came to Japan and was starting to speak Japanese. I would use the same phrases over and over again. And actually, as I'm learning to play basketball now on a team, I find I'm doing the same moves over and over again. I do the same dribble or the same fake or something like that. And when you do this, it decreases your confidence. So the thing that I did, I'm still learning to get better in basketball, but my Japanese has become a lot better for one simple reason. And that's because I was able to add slight things, just like an additional word or phrase, each time I would use something. So there will be many times when you're interacting with people and you'll say the same thing, or it will be the same situation, and you can do something like introducing yourself or saying what you do or how your life is or your job or your family or something like that. But if you take the time to add a little bit more to that, and this could be adding maybe just one more word or an additional phrase, or you could return with a question. So as an example, when I first came to Japan and I was really nervous, I didn't want to speak so much, people would ask me, hey, what's your name? And I would just say, my name is Drew. And that would be the end of it. But if I would then continue, and this is how I changed and started to build more speaking confidence and fluency in Japanese, this is when I started to say, with my answer, my name is Drew and I'm from America. Or my name is Drew and I'm from Chicago in America, and I like playing baseball or something like that. And I would still practice, and each time I would add something new or something different, or I would ask a question in return to try to get a conversation going. The more you can do this, this is how you're really going to begin building speaking confidence and fluency. It's not about learning lots of new words or phrases. That's great, but if you can't actually use that when you speak, you're really going to struggle and you're going to be stuck using the same things over and over again. Remember that learning a language is it's about building a skill. It's not about learning a whole bunch of knowledge. So the more you practice, that's really what's going to help you use things automatically. I hope you've enjoyed this tip. If you want to learn more, feel free to come to the English Anyone YouTube channel right here on YouTube, and you can learn with over 250 more great videos. I'll see you on the channel. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Shana from EspressoEnglish.net, and my top tip for English fluency is to learn to think in English. This will help you remember new vocabulary better, and it will help you speak faster and more naturally because you won't have to translate from your native language to English while speaking. Instead, you can think directly in English and speak in English much faster and more fluently. Now, thinking in English might seem like a difficult skill to master, but actually you can practice it anytime and anywhere. Whenever you have a spare moment, just look around you and, in your head, describe what you see in English. Start with simple words and then form simple sentences, and then you can work on forming more and more complex sentences, again, in your head, in English. This skill is so important for fluency, and I guarantee that if you practice, you will see a lot of progress in your spoken English. If you'd like to get more English tips from me, come visit EspressoEnglish.net.
Hello, this is Jack from Fluency.com. Firstly, I want to say how excited I am about being part of this collaborative effort. So thanks, Gabby, for putting it all together. Now, my tip for English fluency is this: stay consistent and make it relevant to you. Now, let's look at this in more depth. So to stay consistent with your English means making it part of your daily routine. and incorporating more English into your life. Now, this is easy once you get into the habit of using English on a daily basis. And an example of this is just changing the language of your devices, your smartphone, your computer, whatever you want to use, into English. This means that whenever you're using this device, you're using English, and you're doing it in a way that doesn't take a lot of energy. There are other ways to do this as well, and this includes setting some time aside every morning to do something in English. But it also means having a lot of fun too. Watching TV, listening to podcasts, reading blog posts, all in English. The second part to my tip was to make it relevant. And what I mean by this is listening to things, watching things and reading things that you enjoy, things that are interesting to you. Firstly, when we do things that are interesting, we do them more often and we're more engaged when we're interacting with the materials. But secondly, you're going to learn the words and phrases that you're most likely going to use in everyday conversations. And that's because we talk about things that interest us. So thanks for watching, and visit my website if you want more information about reaching a high level of English.
Greetings everyone, this is Jace, also known as Fluency MC. I'm here today with a tip to boost your fluency, to make achieving fluency in English a bit more real. My suggestion, dictation. Surprised? Dictation you think is boring? Well, have you ever listened to a song with words missing and tried to fill in the gaps? Choose a conversation from a movie or a TV show, or try a music video. Turn the subtitles off. Listen for the stressed words, the words that are easier to hear. Write those words down. Then watch and listen again. This time, try to catch the little grammar words, those words that are reduced and connect together, what I call shrinking and linking. Pause and repeat whenever you like, then turn on the subtitles and check your work. Learning to pay attention to stressed words and notice shrinking and linking is key to boosting your fluency. Most importantly, please remember this. The key to learning English is to lower your stress. Having fun when you learn is when you learn the best. Please subscribe to Fluency MC on YouTube. Peace and respect.
Hey Go Natural English, it's Andrea Giordano from ESL Basics, and I have a tip for English fluency for you. So I work at a university, actually I'm sitting on that university right now in Kentucky in the United States, and one thing I've noticed is that it's often very difficult for ESL students to create relationships or friendships with actual people who speak English. Instead, they stay in their groups, right? They go to dinner with only people who speak their language, or all of their friends and roommates only speak their language. So they're in the United States, they have the opportunity to learn English from actual English speakers, but they're only speaking with people who know their own language. So my tip for you is, no matter where you live in the world, you need to create friendships or relationships with native English speakers. That is the #1 way that you're going to get fluent, because it creates this motivation in you to have these friendships and to really want to communicate your ideas and your heart with these people. So make friendships with native English speakers, and then once you're friends with them, don't stop speaking English.
Hi everybody, this is Lisa with EnglishFluencyNow.com, and I wanted to give you a quick tip on how to improve your English fluency, and that is to focus on the things that are interesting to you. So of course there are a lot of words and expressions that you could learn, but really there are ones that are more important and more interesting to you. So just focus on those so that you can have conversations with people about the things that are very interesting to you. Okay, good luck and keep up the good work. Bye now.
My tip for fluency is that if you want to improve your listening skills, you need to use your ears and not your eyes. The way that we traditionally learn English in school is by reading a lot and maybe writing. We've been trained to understand English with our eyes by reading, maybe by reading the board when your teacher is writing and lecturing about English, or by reading books, which is great. I love books. But to be able to understand conversation, to improve your listening comprehension, to understand what other people are saying so that you can truly feel confident with English conversation, you have to train your ears to become comfortable with English. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, definitely listen to a lot of English. That could be music, the news, it could be cartoons, it could be something that you're interested in particular. Then you need to start picking out the sounds of English. How do words sound different than you imagine they would? Perhaps you could listen to a song and compare the lyrics on paper so you can listen and read at the same time. There's also some great websites where you can listen to the news and read the news at the same time so you can compare what your eyes think the word should sound like and what your ears are actually hearing. Then, when you listen to other materials without the help of reading the words, you can start to understand those words that you didn't before. Keep an open mind because English has crazy pronunciation, and there's a lot of words and spellings that sound different depending on the use. For example, O-U-G-H could be cough, or it could be though. Same spelling. So we need to train our ears. Remember that your eyes are important, but let your ears become confident on their own.